Good morning, everyone. I welcome all of you for international webinar on marine pollution organized by Department of Botany and Zoology, Raza Degree College for Women, in collaboration with MycoAsia Journals for Modern Mycology. Today we have gathered from various corners of the world, united by our thirst for knowledge and desire to grow together. I welcome all of you. This webinar is an incredible opportunity for all of us to engage with very eminent personality, Dr. Belle Shenoy, Principal Scientist, CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography, Vishakhapatnam. I welcome you, sir. I welcome the President of this webinar, Dr. Zeba Parveen, Principal, Bibi Raza Degree College for Women. I welcome you, ma'am. I also welcome the organizing secretaries, Dr. Kanis Fatima and Dr. Nasreen Sultana. Welcome, ma'am. Over the course of this event, we will delve into thought-provoking discussions, gain insights from the esteemed speaker. This platform aims to foster collaboration and creativity, empowering us to tackle real-world challenges and pave the way for a brighter future. I encourage all of you to actively participate, ask questions, and share your experiences. Let us make the most of this time together, networking and forging meaningful connections that extend beyond this virtual space. Once again, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for being a part of this webinar. Without further ado, let's start this event, embracing the power of knowledge and curiosity. I request Dr. Nasreen Sultana to introduce today's guest. Ma'am, it's over to you.
A very good morning. I welcome you all who have joined us on this national webinar on marine pollution, which is being organized in collaboration with the Departments of Botany and Zoology of B.P. Raza Degree College for Women, Gulbarga. It is truly an honor to introduce you all to this great personality, uh, Dr. Belle Damodara, Principal Scientist, CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography, Regional Center, Vishakhapatnam, India. He is not only known for his academic excellence, but also an eminent scientist who is filled with multi-spectrum of wisdom and knowledge. Dr. Belli Damodara Shinoy is a fungal taxonomist by training. After completing his bachelor's and master's degrees from India, he pursued his PhD degree in fungal taxonomy at the University of Hong Kong, China. His PhD thesis titled Multi-Gene Phylogeny of Selected Anamorphic Ascomycetes dealt with the evolutionary relation sporodesmic for a brief period of time, worked as a postdoctoral fellow at the Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, Ottawa, on DNA barcoding of fusarium. In 2008, Dr. Shenoy returned to India and joined as fungal taxonomist at Microbial Type Culture Collection at CSIR Institute of Microbial Technology, Chandigarh. He supervised 2 PhD students there and published several high-impact papers on fungal taxonomy, phylogeny, DNA barcoding, and comparative genomics. In 2013, Dr. Shenoy moved to CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography, Goa, and initiated research on diversity and taxonomy of microbes associated with tarballs, that is, crude oil derivatives. He is presently working at CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography Regional Center, Vishakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, and supervising 2 PhD students on bacterial diversity in select marine niches. Dr. Shenoy has so far published 45 papers in reputed international journals. He is co-founder and presently managing editor of New Mycology Journal, MycoAsia Journal of Modern Mycology. Recently, he has founded a new mycology journal for Indian like MycoIndia, that is Journal of Indian Fungi. Dr. Shenoy has been a member of the International Subcommission on Polytotrichum Taxonomy. Dr. Shenoy is on the advisory board of Amity Institute of Oceanography and Atmospheric Sciences, India. His non-scientific hobbies include traveling and exploring India, writing poems. Some of his publications are Diversity of Bacteria and Fungi Associated with Tadpoles, and Genome Sequence Comparative Analysis and Evolutionary Insights into Titanesis of Entomopathogenic Fungus, Hirsutella thomsoni. And another paper, that is the AppMac marker on resolved Polytotrichum species, that is a case study with Mangifera indica. Then the paper, and another paper, that is impact of DNA sequence impact of DNA sequence data on the taxonomy of anamorphic fungi. And next paper, that is the ribosomal and RBB2 DNA sequence analysis suggests that Sporodesmium and morphologically similar genera are polyphyletic. Thank you.
Hi, sir, can you please present now?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me, Romi?
Yes, sir, I can hear you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nasrin Sultana, for introducing me to the today's audience. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank the Department of Botany and the Department of Zoology, BB Raza College, BB Raza Degree College for Women, Kalaburgi or Gulbarga, which is in my home state of Karnataka. I'm happy to be, talking about marine pollution in today's event. Thank you, Dr. Romana Mirde, for chasing me for this talk and just making it happen today. Thank you so much. And I would like to thank today's audience for joining in, and I hope to have good interaction with you all. I would like to spend next 30 minutes presenting some 30-40 slides. After that, we would like to have a question and answer session. Probably then the president of this program will give her remarks. That is the program, I am told. Anyway, let me start sharing my slides. It might take a couple of minutes to fix the technicalities. Just bear with us. Thank you. To avoid distraction, I'm going to switch off my video. Romy, can you see the first slide?
Yes, sir, I can see that.
Okay, thank you. And let me just get going with the presentation. Today, the title of the presentation is Marine Pollution. There is some message in the chat box. Good morning to all of you. Yeah, good morning to Dr. Pankaj Saidiji. In this presentation, I'll be talking about 10 important aspects about the oceans. After that, I will talk about implications of marine pollution. Then I'll talk about the kind of research we have been doing at the CSIR National Institute of Oceanography, Goa and Visakhapatnam on tar balls. Before I just get going with the actual presentation, let me talk about my institute. My name of my institute is CSIR National Institute of Oceanography. It is one of the 38 laboratories of CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, which is an autonomous body under Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. The CSIR NIO has is located at 4 locations in Goa, Donapolo, Goa. We have our head office, kind of main lab, and we have 3 regional centers. So 2 on the west coast of India, that is one in Mumbai, another in Kochi. On the east coast of India, we have one regional center that is in Visakhapatnam. I'm working at the CSIR National Institute of Regional Center, Visakhapatnam. We are into multidisciplinary research. We work on physics, chemistry, biology, geology, marine instrumentation, ocean engineering, biotechnology. So you are welcome to visit our website www.nio.org, and we actually train BSc and MSc students for their internship. Okay, so your students are welcome to submit their application for internship opportunities at CSIR National Institute of Oceanography at Goa, Mumbai, Kochi, and Visakhapatnam. So in this presentation, I would be talking about 10 facts about oceans. So this is just to give an idea about the oceans and some basic information about oceans, how they are important, why do we need to care about, health of the ocean. Then I will talk about the implications of marine pollution. Specifically, I will talk about marine tarball pollution. I will explain what are tarballs when I go to that particular section of presentation. As I told you, at the end of this presentation, I will be taking up some questions for answering and discussion. First of all, let me give some 10 interesting facts about oceans. As you know, oceans cover 3/4 of the Earth's surface. Around almost 67% of the Earth's surface is made up of oceans. Actually, 97% of Earth's water is found in oceans, and oceans represent 99% of the living space on the planet by volume. So, by the sheer magnitude of its volume and the area, I think it definitely plays important roles in climate change, food security, livelihood, also that for that matter, oxygen we breathe. Actually, most of this oxygen we breathe actually comes from the ocean. That I'm going to explain in the next slide. The important is that ocean is very important. The oceans cover 3/4 of the Earth's surface, and they contain 97% of Earth's water. Only 3% of the Earth's water is rivers and lakes and other water bodies. So oceans represent 99% of the living space on the planet by volume. Second important information is that oceans are to be conserved and they are to be sustainably used. This is one of the goals of one of the Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations. So, considering the roles played by oceans, United Nations under one of the Sustainable Development Goals aims to conserve and sustainably use the ocean, seas, and marine resources. So this is very important. Anthropogenic activities like industries, for that matter, human beings release lots of carbon dioxide to the environment. So oceans actually absorb about 30% of the carbon dioxide produced by humans. So thereby, it buffers the impact of the global warming. When the oceans absorb the 30% of the carbon dioxide produced by humans, that means there will be some chemical change in the ocean that will, when the carbon dioxide dissolves in seawater, it actually reduces the pH that leads to acidification. This has got some implications that I will discuss in coming slides. Another aspect is that the amount of heat produced in the climate system, most of the 90%, more than 90% of the excess heat. It is expected that there is a good management of the heat in the Earth system, climate system. If there is any additional heat, that heat is actually absorbed by the oceans. So when the oceans absorb the additional excess heat, what happens that sea surface temperature increases, that will have ramifications in many aspects of our life. More about it later. And many of human beings live on the coastal areas actually. So about 3 billion people actually depend on marine and coastal biodiversity for their livelihood. 3 billion people is almost 30-40% of the today's world population, which is dependent on marine and coastal biodiversity, for their livelihoods. Uh, the amount of the coastal marine and coastal resources, that can be valued in terms of money. So globally, the market value of marine and coastal resources and industries is estimated at $3 trillion per year. That is about 5% of the global GDP. So oceans play important role in the global economy. So this is an important fact to be remembered and appreciated actually. Our oceans are getting polluted and most of the pollutants are from land. So roughly 80% of marine and coastal pollution actually originates on land. These include agricultural runoff, pesticides, plastics, untreated sewage. So the top today I'm going to talk about marine pollution and specifically I'm going to talk about tarball pollution, one of the pollutants, the oil, actually crude oil. Our coastal waters are getting deteriorated because of pollution and eutrophication. Eutrophication is addition of lots of nutrients which will lead to growth of unwanted growth of a minute organisms. So that will affect the overall health of the system. So this coastal eutrophication is expected to increase by 20% by 2050. So even oceans are getting affected by because of additions of unwanted nutrients in the form of fertilizers and etc. So we need to be careful about that. Around 680 million people are living in low-lying coastal zones. So that will have danger for them, especially when the sea invades their areas. So these low-lying coastal areas are expected to increase. I mean, basically, the number of people to be affected is going to be increased to 1 billion of people by 2050. So this is a matter of concern. We should be considerate about it. Oceans play very important in terms of transport. Transport through ship is the cheapest mode of transport. So around 80% of volume of international trade in goods is carried by the sea, and this percentage is even higher for the most developing countries. So though it is the cheapest mode of transport, and around 80% of the volume is carried by the ship, but it has got its own implications. It will cause oil marine pollution and other stuff. So we need to come up with sustainable and climate resilient transport, especially maritime transport. Last but not the least, it is normally believed that the trees are very important for the oxygen we breathe. Of course, trees on the land are important, but even oceans are important when it comes to oxygen that we breathe, because at least half of Earth's oxygen comes from the ocean. So that means we cannot ignore the role played by oceans in our actually existence on this earth. So there is one estimate, especially 50 to 80% of the 80% of the oxygen produced on earth comes from the ocean, and the majority of the oxygen is produced by the oceanic plankton. These are the minute drifting plants, algae, and some bacteria, especially species of Prochlorococcus. They are believed to produce up to 20% of the oxygen in our entire biosphere. See, even minute bacteria are important for our survival on this earth. Imagine these bacteria are contributing up to 20% of the oxygen that we breathe. So every living organism on the land, and especially in marine environment, is important. We need to conserve them. We need to use them sustainably, actually. So our oceans are facing many threats. One of the threats is overfishing. Other one is plastic and marine pollution. Third one is ocean warming. fourth one is eutrophication, then the fifth one is acidification. Today I will be talking about marine pollution, especially on oil pollution. So oil is very important. When I say oil, crude oil and petroleum products, they are important for our livelihood, for our day-to-day life. And these crude oil and petroleum products are transported from the origin to the market. If the origin is Gulf countries, the market is in Southeast Asian countries. This crude oil is carried from the Gulf countries to Southeast Asian via Arabian Sea. So when the crude oil is transported by Arabian Sea, for example, if there is an oil spill in the open ocean, what happens? What happens is that one of the things that can happen is the formation of tar balls. So I will explain. I'll come to the topic of tar balls now. What are tar balls? Hopefully, this video will give an idea. So that was a small, oops, sorry. That was a small video about some pollutants on the beach of Juhu Beach in Mumbai. So you might ask, what are those black things? Those black things are nothing but these are ball-like structures. These are tar balls. So you might be wondering who put these black things on the Juhu Beach in Mumbai. They have come from the open ocean. And how did they come? And how did they form? These are important questions to ask. Actually, we have some answers, and basically, some curious mind might ask, don't these tar balls spoil the beach? Yes, I mean they spoil the aesthetic value of they actually reduce the aesthetic value of the beach. And if the beach is full of tar balls, probably people would avoid it, especially people tourists would avoid going to such beaches. So that might affect the tourism industries and other activities. And not only that, are they safe to humans? Can we touch tar balls? What will happen? What if we touch tar balls? What will happen if we consume a small bit of consume by accident we consume tar balls? So these are the questions. These are very simple sounding questions, but they are not very easy to answer though. What are tar balls? So these are nothing but the tar balls are the weathered crude oil. Weathering is a process by which crude oil, uh, uh, which is actually liquid, becomes semi-solid. Actually, and the tar balls are solid outside, liquid inside. They can be soft and sticky, or brittle or hard, depending upon how they are formed in the open ocean, especially in the environmental conditions there. They are black to brown in color, and their size varies from millimeter to centimeter. And in India, especially on the west coast of India, they are seasonal in appearance. They are reported during pre-monsoon and post-monsoon seasons of the west coast of India, on the west coast of India, actually, especially the Goan beaches, Karwar Beach, Malvan beaches, recently Mangalore, Kundapur. These places have reported the occurrence of tar balls on the beaches. Actually, tar ball is not a India-centric problem. We say tar ball pollution is a global problem. Yeah, as you can see on this map, there are many locations from where the tarballs have been reported. So it's a global problem. So we need to therefore take it a little bit seriously. These are some of the media reports, newspaper reports from Bangalore, where the NGT. I mean, it's quite a it's one year old news. Especially National Green Tribunal has formed a committee to look into the marine pollution, especially tarball pollutions, and the occurrence of Kodi Beach, I think somewhere in Kundapur, Udupi district. That has been reported. I think this was in 2022. When I was in Goa recently, I was told the occurrence of occurrence or the deposition of tarballs in some of the Karnataka beach, Karwar, Kundapur, Panambur, of course, Goa also. So we started our research on microbiology of tarballs when I joined National Institute of Oceanography at Goa. So we focused on microbiological aspects of tarball pollution. And we asked three simple questions, especially when my student, Varsha Shinde, joined, and one BTech student who came for her project work. We started asking these questions, whether the tarball associated bacteria and fungi taxonomically diverse. Though there were reports before, there weren't many reports based on reports on molecular identification of tarball associated bacteria and fungi. So we started doing molecular identification of tarball associated bacteria and fungi, mainly from Goan beaches actually. So second question we asked, what kind of roles these microbes play? If these microbes are associated with tarballs, I mean, what I'm trying to say is, as these microbes are associated, they are present on tarballs or inside tarballs. What are they doing? Are they helping in the degradation of tarballs? If they are doing some significant, if they are playing some roles in degradation of tarballs, probably we could think of using them for some environmental biotechnological applications, maybe bioremediation of crude oil contaminated sites or tarball contaminated sites. So, and that was the second question. Third question, we did not find a place from where we could find all the information about tarball associated microbes. So we decided to develop one platform from where you can get most of the information about tarball associated microbes so far reported from the world. So first revelation, my BTech, the BTech student who joined, Olivia Sanyal, actually she went to one of the beaches in Goa, Kandolim Beach. That's a tourist beach in the North Goa. She collected some tar balls and she isolated fungi, in a very simple technique. Then she did the sequencing of ITS region, what we call fungal DNA barcode region. And when she constructed phylogenetic tree, she found out that the tarball associated fungi are phylogenetically diverse. As you can see in this phylogenetic tree, tarball associated fungi from Kandolim Beach belong to two classes, the Thudiomycetes and Saccharomycetes. And to best of our knowledge, this was the first reported study on the ITS-based phylogeny of tarball associated fungi. So that was a good beginning. Excuse me. Then my PhD student Varsha in this collected some more tarballs, in 2006 or 16 or 17 from the Betul Beach. Betul Beach is also a tourist beach in South Goa, and she reported more. Different kind. She added different fungal taxa to the list of tarball associated fungi from Goa, actually based on the ITS sequence. So basically, based on the ITS sequence, now we summarize the tarball associated fungi from Goa belong to 8 genera and 3 classes. So the 3 classes is very important. That means that shows the taxonomic diversity of tarball associated fungi. I have been working with my collaborator, Dr. Raki Kandepalkar at CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography, Goa. And we did the actually NGS analysis of tarball fungi. We collected tarballs from 2 beaches in North Goa. We extracted DNA from tarballs, and we sent the DNA samples to Eurofins, Bangalore, where they did the amplicon sequencing of ITS region. So basically, that analysis revealed that there could be at least 59 to around there could be at least 60 to 95 operational taxonomic units of tarball fungi from Goan beaches. I mean, 2 beaches from Goa that from where we collected tarballs. So this is interesting. The number of fungal taxa increased drastically when we actually use the amplicon sequencing or NGS analysis actually. So we have got 94 names now, So these 94 taxonomic names can be connected with the possible, ecological function when we use this information in a platform called FunGuild actually. So we are going to publish this paper soon, which will actually report the diversity of tarball associated fungi inferred based on amplicon sequence data analysis of ITS region. So then we predicted the possible ecological function using the FunGuild analysis. This is something interesting that we haven't done so far, so I'm excited about it. In addition to fungi, we also actually my PhD student Varsha Shinde majorly worked on tarball associated bacteria from Goan beaches. She has submitted her thesis. She's waiting for her viva. She actually enumerated the number of bacteria that could be present on tarball. So this is the number in the magnitude of 10 to the power 5 actually. So which is more than the what you find on the normal sand or seawater actually. And this is the 16S-based phylogenetic analysis of tarball associated bacteria from Goan beaches actually. I think it's from the Bethel beach. So Varsha reported 20 bacterial genera belonging to 4 phyla that are associated with tarballs from Bethel beach. The important ones are Alkanivarax, Bargavia, nitrative reductor, Oceanemonas, Tistella. These were exclusively, isolated when we use enrichment method. Okay. There is an important question whether tarballs harbor human pathogenic microbes. We haven't really gone deep into this aspect, but we have got some hint actually. So in a related research from the USA, where they actually reported high number of Vibrio vulnificus in tarballs collected from north central Gulf of Mexico actually, which following 2010 BP deep water horizon oil spill. Basically, in this research, they actually reported higher number of Vibrio vulnificus in tarballs compared to seawater and the sand. Which is obvious because tarball is full of organic nutrients actually, hydrocarbons. Some of them are PAFs actually, some of them are alkenes. So basically, but these tarballs are supporting the high number of Vibrio vulnificus, one of the human pathogens actually. That was from Mexico, I mean Gulf of Mexico, but when Cleffy and Rocky did the along with me, actually, they did a study. They found that the higher abundance of Vibrio in tarball contaminated seawater from Vagator Beach. So we collected seawater from Vagator Beach in pre-monsoon condition and monsoon condition and post-monsoon condition. And when the tarball was deposited on those beaches, we found that the seawater of that beach is full of Vibrio. So that is represented in the form of this that result is represented in this table. Basically, in May 2018, tarball deposition was witnessed in the Vagator Beach, Goa. The operational taxonomic units of Vibrio was revealed to be 9,696 compared to the normal times of March 2018, September 20. I mean, we could find 82 Vibrio votius in post-monsoon, though there was no deposition. I think this difference is quite large, so that we can ignore this 82. And we in that study we identified three major Vibrio species in seawater based on the NGS analysis or amplicon sequence analysis of 6 RNA gene sequence data. Actually, these are Vibrio shilloni, Vibrio fortis, Vibrio harvey. Actually, so we got the taxonomic diversity information of taxonomic diversity of tarball associated bacteria. So we use that information to identify to correlate with the possible hydrocarbon degradation ability. So this is just some analysis we did, and we whatever we found in our taxonomic analysis, we compared with the previous studies from the literature, and we found that some of these bacterial taxa have already been reported for hydrocarbon degradation. That doesn't mean these are actually degrading. They could be degrading tarballs, but for that we need evidence. Actually, we need to do real-time experiment and find out. We did a small experiment. We actually used a bacterial consortium, and in the laboratory we did some experiment. And in our experiment, that our bacterium consortium consisting of Pseudomonas betul 14 strain, Pseudomonas species, betul M strain, and Alcanivorex, species betul O strain. This bacterial consortium could degrade 97.78% of N-alkanes within 45 days in the laboratory condition, and this bacterial consortium could also degrade around 62% of PAFs in 45 days. This is just a lab-based study, but we need to improvise it. What we are doing is we are treating tarball with natural dispersant, before we actually, try to do the bacterial consortium analysis. So this is one step ahead of what we had done during Varsha's PhD today. So here is a wild idea. So mushroom mycelia are known to degrade very hard to degrade materials. So this is an experiment from Paul Stammet where he used mycelia of oyster mushrooms, and these mycelia could degrade hydrocarbons present in oil contaminated soil. Similarly, we would like to know whether some mushroom mycelia can degrade tarballs after a certain time, whether these tarballs will be less toxic because of degradation of certain toxic hydrocarbons, and the mycelia will lead to formation of mushroom structures, whether people would be interested to eat, if at all, anything growing on these tarballs. So this is a wild idea. We haven't done much on this, but this is going to be something interesting we would be doing in coming years. I mean, we asked 3 questions. There are more questions about tarballs, actually. Well, we studied only from Goan beaches, actually. So we don't know much about the tarball associated microbes from other parts of west coast of India, and we focused on beach tarballs collected from the beach. How about tarballs floating in seawater? What kind of microbial diversity they must be supporting? How about the tarballs which could be present in the seabed on the seabed? Those are called benthic tarballs. We don't know anything about the microbes from benthic tarballs. Whether any new species are there on tarballs, or microbial species could be described. We need additional efforts for such things. About pathogenic microbes, we need to do lots of things. We need to correlate taxonomy with epidemiology. Just because we reported this taxa doesn't mean there are pathogenic bacteria or fungi on tar balls. We need to connect it with the epidemiological experiments and data. It would be interesting to see how microbial communities are changing over a period of time on tar balls. So that will be very interesting in terms of ecology, probably in terms of biotechnology also, because a good ecological experiment can provide very interesting insights for biotechnology. It would be also interesting to study the enzymes involved in the microbial enzymes involved in degradation tarball, the pathways and other stuff. And the genome sequencing of tarball microbes will definitely is gonna provide very interesting insights about the diversity, the genes, metabolic pathways, pathogenicity, and we can also use diversity information, diversity knowledge for biotechnology. So we have this website. We created this website, tarballs.in, which is in preparation. Here we have information about tarball associated microbes reported from the world so far. We have around 200 records, bacterial records. We are adding fungal records soon. And in future, we would like to get real-time information about the tarball deposition on different beaches of the world, and we can transmit the information through this website. I mean, that's in process. So this website is maintained by Varsha Shinde as part of a PhD thesis. If you are, that was about the PhD. That was about the work on tarball microbiology that we have been doing at CSIR NIO. There are many more things, and if you are interested or keen on oceans, there are some web resources. You can go to internet, go to this page, Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations, that is www.un.org, and you have Sustainable Development/oceans. Okay, then you have Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, which gives information about fisheries and agriculture. UN Environment Program, that is also a good web page, website to visit. Especially you want to understand the Convention on Biological Diversity, especially exchange of biological material from one country to another country for academic research or maybe commercial exploitation. This is a good website. This is another one, United Nations Oceans. This is an interagency collaboration mechanism on ocean and coastal issues within the UN system. UNESCO's ocean webpage is also good. United Nations UN Water, another website. Then the International Maritime Organization website is for all the rules and regulations of the maritime trades and etc. And there are some international laws, Oceans and Law of the Sea of the United Nations. So you could go there if you are keen on learning about the rules of the world, actually global rules and regulations with regards to oceans. UNDP has got an interesting web page on oceans. You can visit that. And United Nations Environment Program has got one more website on Sustainable Development Goal 14, Life Below Water. This is a very good website from the Smithsonian Institute. Actually, this web page is full of information and insights and examples and rich with media. Actually, I have learned a lot from marine microbiology from this website. This is an Ocean X. This is a Facebook page where they put some interesting stuff on oceans and ocean expedition, right? And in India, we have Ministry of Earth Sciences where they are supporting and they are into policy making. So you can visit their website. And Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, the Government of India. It is also an important website for consideration. So of course there is scientists are interested about ocean in terms of science, hypothesis testing. So oceans are important beyond science also, because there is, uh, oceans inspire poets, oceans inspire artists, ocean inspire travelers, so here is a one poem by Khalil Gibran. The title "Fear" actually. So it's about a river. It is gonna meet the ocean, but it has its own apprehensions. Especially it actually consider it's worried about its own identity. So what will happen when I merge with the ocean, or sea? And here is the Kannada translation. Basically, it says when the river actually merges with the or merges with the sea, actually it doesn't become separate. It becomes ocean itself. So it's basically it has got philosophical tone. Basically, we are gonna reach somewhere. We should not be worried about our own identity, individual identity. We will become something something you will unify with something which is already there. Okay, so go through this poem and probably you might get some better insights than what I have explained just now. With this, I am concluding this presentation. I would like to thank the organizers again. Thank you very much, and especially Dr. Roman Amirde for making it happen. And I am very grateful to my organization, CSI, National Institute of Oceanography, for providing all the facilities and and supporting my research. And I'm thankful to my students and my collaborators. Without their contribution, I'm nothing. And I'm very thankful to today's audience for your active participation. I'm sure you will have many questions, and I will be very delighted to interact with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation. Now the topic is open for discussion.
Okay. I have turned on the microphone. You can ask. Maybe raise your hand and ask. South Bukhari, please. Marvel Robo. Romy, can you hear me? Can they hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Sir, we as a common man, how we can control ocean pollution, sir?
Oh, very good question. As I told you, 80% of the pollutants, marine pollutants, come from the land. Plastic, agricultural, runoffs. When it comes to plastic, probably we can change our lifestyle, maybe reduce plastic consumption. Finally, whatever most of the things you go to the ocean. If you reduce the input, probably that might help. And
Thank you.
the agricultural practices, and the treatment of the sewage and all stuff, we can do it better. Of course, ocean is a big sink. Doesn't mean you dump everything, because it will affect the overall health of the ocean.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a question. May I please?
Yes, please, Krishna.
Yeah. Sir, like pollution control BS4 and BS6 standards, why can't we take regulatory controls towards this oil pollution and all?
We have regulatory framework. We have to implement it properly.
Okay.
You cannot introduce anything foreign to the ocean. You are liable for punishment.
Okay.
Especially you said, I have found a new microbes or new chemical, natural dispersant. You cannot just go to the ocean or sea and test it there. You would require, you know, a
Personal
clearance from,
techniques.
you would require clearance from the authorities before you do any experiment with ocean. Only thing is that people go to the beach and litter it without bothering about the consequences.
Sure,
Thank
like
you.
many countries, they are actually working on this aeration method and cleaning all the waste stuff and plastic material. So, is that process really works for all the oceans, kind of oceans?
I'm not very sure about it. I don't know. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sir,
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes, madam.
Sir, just I want to know about the tar balls. Does it have any benefit to the ocean? Just
No, madam, it doesn't. I mean, it's a good insight actually. So this, what happens now when the crude oil is spilled in the open ocean, maybe through oil tanker or the natural source, this oil slick becomes tar balls like structure because of weathering. And some of them float in the seawater, some of them go to the seabed, many of them come to the beaches during pre-monsoon and monsoon season. These are excessive hydrocarbons, which is full of toxic hydrocarbon, PAH and other. I don't think they are beneficial because they are kind of they are a pollutant. They are classified as a pollutant. I don't think they can be beneficial.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Anamika, please. Dr. Anamika, you have any questions?
No, sir. It
Okay.
was an excellent presentation.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Anamika.
sir, for your wonderful insights into different aspects of marine pollution.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
sir, good morning, sir.
Hi.
Sir, I'm Dr. Rajkumar from Economics Department, sir. I belongs to Economics Department. In economic background, the economic valuation of coastal ecosystem services studies are emerging, sir. According to Millennium Ecosystem Assessment, coastal ecosystem services are generally classified into 4 aspects, sir: provisioning services, regulating services, cultural services, and supporting services. So based on that, in recent studies, many of the studies have estimated the coastal ecosystem services in a national as well as international level. There are some economic value in order to control or in order to protect the coastal ecosystem services. So what is the role of these values on the coastal ecosystem protection, sir? This is my first query, sir. Second one is is there any international policies for controlling these kinds of pollution, sir? Thank you for the opportunity, sir. Thank you.
First about the economic valuation. So that would be very useful in terms of if the economic value is higher. So if the people are aware of it, I think they would be hesitant to destroy it, right? That would be nice. So that is my personal view. About the regulatory authorities, even for crude oil, transport of it, there are enough regulations out there actually.
Yes, sir. Actually, we are estimating the value for making an effective decision-making process, sir. For example, if government is implementing any projects, the government may make on a cost-benefit analysis like environmental impact assessment. So these values may directly or indirectly influence that, sir. So is there
Yeah,
any?
yes, that's what I was telling. Not only the people, even the policy makers, if they are made aware of it, if they are aware of such valuations, and if the economic value is quite high, and probably the decision may not be to destroy it actually, or use it sustainably.
Yes, sir. How these values are helps to in scientific aspects, sir, means like zoology, botany, like that, sir.
I mean, if the research, if when we have limited funds for research, and if the economic valuation is quite high for one ecosystem or one particular area,
Yes.
and if this it's under some danger, anthropogenic activities or in possible industrial implication, industrial activities, probably that value, those values can actually guide us where to put our efforts or invest our energy and time actually, because we have got because time is also a kind of we have got limited time. Everybody has 24 hours, and the ocean is quite large, vast, and we have to prioritize which area to focus on for research. Then these values might guide us actually.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody is having any other questions?
Dr. Syed Abrar. Dr. Syed Abrar, you have any question? Dr. Munira? Mr. Girish?
Sir,
Yes, please.
namaste.
Namaste, sir.
Sir, is there any influence of this marine pollution on global climate change or El Nino or La Nino like that? Is there any studies?
I am not aware of it, sir. I'm quite limited in terms of my, like horizon. Probably there are, but I am not aware of it actually. If you leave your contact details, I can send you some relevant literature after I do it. Thank you.
Okay, I will leave my email address to this.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean,
nowadays-
that's a very good question. That's a very good question. Thank you for that.
Okay, sir, okay, thank you, thank you.
Dr. Munira?
Hello, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. My suggestion is that if the ocean is getting polluted with the refinery oil, so it can be reduced by adsorption method, sir.
Yes, we have such things. There are many technologies developed. People are using it. See, but the thing is, we don't know where the oil is spilled. And by the we especially in case of tar balls, we don't know exact location where the oil is. We can do retrospective studies and find out from this particular area the oil is spilled. But by the time the oil spill happens, tar balls are formed and they come to the beaches. In between that duration, we need to focus and probably use all these technologies to prevent the tar balls coming onto the beaches. That's a good thing to do, but it would have its own practical difficulties.
No, but it is the cheapest method, sir. So we can reduce the.
I understand. There are many absorption method, chemical methods. It's not just the biological. Biology is quite least. I mean, biological microbial consumption is the least effective, and probably it can have very localized implications, I believe. Only the chemical methods of physics and chemical, physical chemical kind of ocean engineering would play a very important role here, rather than the biotechnology. It's just, basically we need to manually remove it, very rapidly. For that, ocean engineering innovation can help, and of course there are some technology, chemical-based technologies, which are used in the Western countries and especially in the US, where oil spills have been reported in recent times. Actually, with respect to tar balls in Goa, when the tar balls are deposited on the beaches, the tourism department or concerned authorities go to that affected beach and manually remove them and make the beach, appreciated by the visitors and the tourists. Actually, that's how, and it is dumped somewhere else. The tar balls. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, may I ask him something?
Yes, madam. Yes.
I wanna know, is there any uses of tar balls?
I mean, this is a marine pollutant, madam, and uses could be that you can that is full of hydrocarbons, and you can probably help use that. You can collect them from the beaches and use them in making roads and other stuff. Actually. It's a tar, right? Tar.
Sir, as
In-
you said earlier, I'm curious to know about what happened if someone accidentally consumed tar balls.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Probably better to avoid it. We have not done any studies on that. I don't want to comment on what will happen. Probably it will have many very bad effects. But what kind of effects, I don't know because I have not done any studies. I don't have any data. Better to avoid touching it. Actually, consumption by accident is not nice.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Just imagine you drink kerosene oil or diesel. What will happen? Probably it will have similar effects.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Syed Abrar.
Hello, sir. This
Hi,
is
hi.
Dr. Abrar from Haja Bandinawaz University.
Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you so much for a very informative deliberation and session on
Thank you.
the, yeah. I don't have any question, but I want a suggestion from your side. So how the UG and PG students can involve in marine research? If at all you have some suggestions, can you please tell me, sir?
Yeah, I told you one of my first students who worked on turbos is a BTech student, who came for 3 or 4 months of project work as part of our BTech.
Yeah.
Your students, BSc students, can apply for internship at NIO.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and there is no entrance exam or anything. It's just you send the students have to send request to the potential guide, and if the potential guide accepts, there's a great thing to happen that will happen to the student for next 2-3 months. Not only 2-3 months, even summer internship are given actually. But
Okay,
because of COVID and all, in between we stopped the offline kind of training internship. Then we had some online kind of internship. Now we are
Okay.
back to offline kind of internship. Internship. Students are welcome to apply. They can go to nio.org, and there is a specific section there where they will get information about the all the details. They have to get letter from their HOD or whatever. Then they will get a chance. I think out of 10 people, at least couple will get a chance. Couple of students definitely will get a chance.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
No, not only NIO. If they marine research, there are some MOS laboratories like NCPR in Goa, or maybe Bhavnagar. We have Bhavnagar CSMCRI. There are some labs like NERI which are involved in marine research. So opportunities are there. You need to just explore. Probably people are not aware of it. That's our problem. We are not reaching people adequately about these opportunities available for the bachelor's level students, master's level students.
Yes.
But I'm happy that you asked this question, and I will welcome your students. Submit their request. I'm sure 1 or 2 will definitely get into these internship programs soon.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. If there are no further questions, can we proceed further, sir?
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful session. I now request Dr. Zeba Parveen, ma'am, for her presidential remarks. Please, ma'am.
Romi?
Yes, sir. I think she has started.
Hello.
Yes, madam. Good morning. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Ma'am, may we leave now?
Hello, can you listen to me? Hello? Hello?
Madam, you are
Romana,
busy.
can you listen?
Madam, we can, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, once again, I wish you a very warm good afternoon, Dr. Shenoy. So,
Thank you, ma'am.
first of all, you have taken us into the world of ocean. And this is the biggest global sink, what you have mentioned. Yes, it is true. But the thing is that the pollution, we are talking about the pollution. See, we, the human beings, are responsible for taking up all the activities which are contributing to the marine pollution, we can say. And sir, you have mentioned about the oil spills. It is true that oil spills cannot be controlled by any one of the NGOs or the what is it, the organizations which can control the marine pollution. Only thing is that you can implement some laws or some laws to curb this menace. And as Vahaja madam told that it can be controlled by absorption and all, I think so. This should be within your purview, sir, so that you can take up this small information to curb the menace of the marine pollution. And one of important thing is that, sir, I was taking the classes, conducting the classes for PG students, and I was taking the paper for aquaculture practices. So when I was going through my topics and all, I saw that many of the aquacultural practices are near the vicinity of the oceans in terms of seaweed culture, etc. So, as per your information, the marine pollutants will they contribute to the aquaculture practices near the vicinity of the oceans? I don't know how far it is true, but as you mentioned that there are certain microbes who are also responsible for what is absorbing the tar balls. So we actually, I have seen these tar balls many times, and whenever I have gone through the ocean, coastal areas or coastal lines, but I did not know that these were something very, I think so, very dangerous to the human beings or whatever it is. And it was a contribution of human beings. But the thing is that I thought that might be some small stones which might have been lashed away with the waves or tides, etc. But thank you for giving that such a huge information about the tar balls. And as per your students' information, you have put forth the idea of about the taxonomy of the fungi or the microbes which are also responsible for consuming the tar balls. Hopefully, many more microbes may be in future may be there, where this menace of the tar balls might be limited. I think so, or it can be restricted or limited, or sometimes it might be washed off also, sir. So you have mentioned many things about the ocean. That means it indicates that you have a ocean of knowledge about the oceans, I think so. So thank you for that. And I thank all the participants for lending their ears patiently and actively participating. So thank you so much, sir. I think so we are highly indebted for taking up and are diving everyone off into the ocean and making aware of the marine pollution, sir. So I hope that your organization will be proving its mettle in curbing the menace of tarball or whatever your area of study is there. Hope so these tarballs can be used as material for road construction or any other some building material also in hopefully it should do so. But thing is that it is we the human beings who are responsible for polluting every nook and corner of this world. And you can see that the entire North India is flooded due to the increase in the ocean water because of several reasons. As you told, that is the denudation of forest. Yes, uh, because I teach ecology, so I know that the marine habitat is also contributing to the what to say consumption of oxygen also, sir. So it whether it is 20% of oxygen or 2% of oxygen, oxygen is necessary for the survival of every organism on this planet. It is very true. But again, denudation of forest, it is contributing a large, and this is leading to landslides and whatever the natural calamities are there. Everything is going to the ocean. And we are talking about the raise in the ocean waters or the sea water, but ultimately yesterday there was a news about the Bombay, where the water, ocean water was reaching almost the height of the what to say gateway of India. So menace is a menace, but still hopefully that the people like you will be helping to curb this pollutant in terms of tar ball. So I hope that in future this tar ball will be a replacement of constructing material also, hopefully, sir, so that you can bring to this aspect to the knowledge of a common people or the engineering people, because a student from the B background has taken up a project. So I think so this might be taken up to the engineering part of this what to say studies also. So as oceans are the big contributors of the national economy, but still we have to protect our nature, our ocean, because the entire earth is surround 19 that is almost 70% of the earth is surrounded by the waters, and 30% what we are just contributing or adding to the pollution. But still we should be sensible enough to how to stop or to inhibit these unethical activities, so that we can live and let live together. So in the we can live peacefully by conserving our nature, our oceans, our different habitats. So we are bestowed, God has bestowed us with different habitats like terrestrial, marine, like freshwater, etc., whatever it is. But still it is within the purview of the human being, because we are the sensible people who can what to say, pay a concern toward the distraction and stop these illegal activities in the oceans, like the ferry, what the aquatic machineries, etc. So it was a great thing to listen to a very eminent person. So thank you once again for your wonderful lecture, sir. So God bless you with a very sound health and long life. So thank you once again on behalf of our Honorable President, the management, my staff, and my students for contributing your knowledge to our entire team. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you once again.
Madam, thank you so much for your kind words, and thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with you and your students and the people from all over the world in today's international webinar. I have got many things to learn from your presidential remarks. I will take it as my consider it as my takeaway messages for me with the enriched mind. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Good day. Have a good
You
day.
too, ma'am. Thank you.
Good day to everybody.
Thank you, ma'am, for your presidential address. I now request Dr. Kanis Fatima, ma'am, to give the vote of thanks. Please, ma'am.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Romana Mirde madam for organizing such a nice webinar. Respected speaker of today's webinar, Dr. Belle Damodara Shenoy, Principal Scientist, CSIR, a National Institute of Oceanography, Visakhapatnam. Respected President of this webinar, Dr. Zeba Parveen, Principal Bibi Raza Degree College. Most respected participants, teachers, and my dear colleagues and dear students. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Kanis Fatima, on behalf of Department of Zoology and Botany of Bibi Raza Degree College, would like to thank all of you who are involved in organizing this webinar. I am here today to express my heartfelt thanks to all those who have made this event possible. Firstly, I would like to start by thanking our speaker, Dr. Belle Damodara Shenoy sir, Principal Scientist, CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography, Visakhapatnam. Thank you very much, sir. Actually, this is very big topic. We are polluting the ocean in different ways, but you have shown us highlighted us about this topic, and our students came to know about this topic. Thank you, sir. And I would like to extend my gratitude to our principal who have been our guiding lights, imparting knowledge to all of us, our teachers and students. Thank you, madam. I would like to thank all the teacher participants and student participants. And lastly, I would like to thank the MycoAsia Journal of Modern Mycology. Thank you so much. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Personally, I would like to thank Shenoy sir for this for sparing this wonderful time with us and his knowledge also. I also would like to thank Dr. Zeba Parveen ma'am, Dr. Kanis Fatima ma'am, and Nasreen ma'am for their kind support, and also Bibi Raza Degree College for their all the support throughout the webinar. I would also like to thank the MycoAsia team members and MycoAsia Journal of Modern Mycology for collaborating with us and making this webinar very knowledgeable. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Romi. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And for the participants, feedback form has been provided in the message part. Please go through that and give your feedback. Thank you.